From the players to the teams, it's time for the far too early
Power Rankings.
Sponsored by Zane Waterman. All right, let's talk about the Power Rankings. All right, this is where we rank from 1 to 10 who we think is going to shine. And maybe
not shine as much.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Yeah,
so let's start at number 10. This is where we get the most heat.
Okay, look, first of all, we haven't watched any games, so we apologize in advance. But we don't really apologize in advance also. I'm going to put the Saskatchewan Rattlers in here. Didn't have the greatest end to the season last year. Bringing in, obviously, a new head coach, first-time head coach. I think there's a lot of questions, maybe a slow start. I'm not sure I'm ready to be proven wrong. That's all I'm saying at this point.
Yeah. Finished 6-14 last year. A lot of turnover with the roster, so that's always tough, right? And like you mentioned with head coach, after serving the last 3 seasons as the lead assistant, this will be his first time as a head coach, right? So there's some growing pains with that. We saw that with Brampton last season with Sheldon Casimir, right? They had a lot of turnover as well, but we love you, Saskatchewan. We loved the jersey last year. Remember, they crushed the jersey last year.
We just want to see what it looks like.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yes. Nothing but love from over here on the East Coast. Okay, number 9. Who do you have, S?
Yeah, so I have the Brampton Honey Badgers. I just think, obviously, losing Zane Waterman is a big loss there.
A little ironic.
Yeah, I know. But at the same time, I think Kobe McEwen stepping into a larger role, I just have questions. I'm excited for it, but I have questions of, like, how much of a role is he able to take on, and then where else are they going to look for offensive options? I think the front court is somewhere where I have a bunch of questions for them as well. They obviously have Prince Ojero, but I still have questions for them, so that's why I have them at number 9.
Yeah, you know what? This is one of those ones where, like, on paper right now, there's a reason they're number 9. Like I said, 6-14 last season, right? First time for Coach Casimir.
But there's a
ceiling. But there's 2 reasons, right? You got Canadian Player of the Year last year in Kobe McEwen.
Totally.
Probably make a run at it again this year, right? Being the focal point of the offense.
Yeah.
And then with the new owner, Leonard Asper, right? You know he's going to put his efforts, his resources into making this team really, really good.
Absolutely.
So we're looking forward to the outlook of this team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so I'll start here at number 8. We got Montreal. Again, another team that finished 6-14 last year. The reason I'm optimistic about this team, though, you're bringing a former coach of the year in Jermaine Small, a guy that I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
You know he's going to whip these guys into shape.
Yeah, I'm excited for that aspect. I'm also excited because they're adding Quincy Guerrier. Played for the 905 this year. Got a chance to watch the 905 very closely. And he's like a vet presence. He's just such a calming presence, both on and off the floor. And I think he's like kind of what they need in terms of a veteran leader that can lead them both on and off the court. So I think that's important for Montreal. At the same time, losing a Med Hill, big offensive option, not being there anymore. Who fills that void? That's the question. That's why they're number 8.
All right, I'm going to surprise a lot of people here at number 7. All right, you ready for this? The Scarborough Shooting Stars, all right?
Wow.
And I can feel the heat already.
That's disrespectful.
Now, a lot of this has to do with
running through
what we have on paper right now, right?
Yeah.
There's potential that Cat Barber's probably going to eventually join this team, and that's where I'm going to regret putting them where I have them now. Mm-hmm. But they were upset in the first round last season, kind of ended on a bitter note, but I need to see more in terms of construction of the roster.
Wow, so this is our first difference. I have Scarborough at 5. Okay, I have them a little bit higher just because, like, we'll see if Cat Barber comes back. That's the big question there. I think Scarborough is just a place that always attracts the right amount of talent. They have a great ability to attract the stars just because it being Scarborough. And I think that's going to play into a factor when it comes to them adding talent to this team. So that's why I have them at 5. At number 7, I have Winnipeg.
Okay.
And obviously they're hosting championship weekend, so they have a big season ahead of them. Adding Tevian Jones, I mentioned how there's a big opportunity for him. So like Brampton, there's a ceiling there. They can get higher than what they are right now. So that's sort of the question that I have with Winnipeg is, like, how can Tevian take control of this opportunity and make the most of it? But again, there's a chance that they could be much higher than this next week.
Right, and all the points you just made there is the reason I have them at number 4. I'm really optimistic about their outlook. Cool. I think Coach Taylor has built this team to last year he told me they were building to be in a position to win at championship week, and I think that we're going to see that right from the get-go. So my reasoning is for the stock that I have in Coach Taylor.
Cool.
Number 6, I got Calgary. 2 straight champ weekend appearances. Got a brand new coach with Cable Canals. They're on the team as well. So
yeah.
It's just for me. It's just tough. I have them there just because of the change in coach.
Yeah, I think the West is really competitive. So there's just a lot of really good teams. And Calgary, to your point, is very consistent. They always come out and play the right way. They're energetic. I love Ruggsy. Ruggsy's just a guy who can be so athletic, get guys running in transition. So that aspect of basketball is something I'm really looking forward to. Also, they've added some backcourt depth in Kareem Mane and Jameer Nelson Jr. Obviously, Jameer Nelson Jr. makes me feel very old, the fact that that's happening. But that's just another backcourt player that they can add, be a playmaker next to Ruggsy.
Where do you have Calgary?
6.
Six as well. Okay.
Yeah.
I got Edmonton at 5. Not much of a case to be made here. When you got Jordan Baker, you always have a fighting chance. I would love to have him higher, and I probably will. And they've got a lot of CEBL experience on this team.
Disrespectful, to be honest with you, to Edmonton. I have them a little bit higher. I have Edmonton all the way at number 3.
Ooh, okay.
One, you mentioned coaching. Jordan Baker. I think he's one of the best coaches in the CEBL. I think the offense that they run is really intriguing. They play an unselfish brand of basketball. They have a general underrated group of talent, and I think they are probably the second best team in the West right now, as currently constructed. We'll see if they can kind of keep things consistent, but yeah, Edmonton.
Okay.
Number 3.
Number 4 for you.
Number 4. So I have Ottawa.
Okay. I have them 3. So
okay. So I actually think this is like a very good Ottawa team. I think they have the best
roster.
Front court in the CEBL between Zane Waterman, obviously Isaiah Moore, and Deng Adel. Like, that is, I think, one of the most stacked front courts in the CEBL, if not the most stacked front court. And so they are tall, they are athletic, they can score. My only question with them is their backcourt and how much offensive creation they'll be able to get for them. They need a facilitator. That's what I'm looking forward with Ottawa, but generally this is going to be a really good team.
Yeah, and first time for Coach DeViro on this team, right? Taking over the reins for Coach James Duran, who I'm going to miss a lot as a head coach.
Absolutely.
But for all the reasons you just said with that roster, I think they're the deepest, number 3.
Okay, interesting.
Sounds like we got 2 and 1 the same.
Yeah, look, man, it's the finals. It's the rematch. Scarborough. Oh my God, I'm thinking about that.
Jumped the gun there.
Niagara and Vancouver. Vancouver being number 2 for me, and then Niagara being number 1. The reason I have Niagara ahead of them, obviously defending champs. You got to respect the defending champs as we come out the gate. They've also added Ahmed Hill, the all-time leading scorer for the CEBL, adding him next to Vic Razzo, the coach, and obviously everything that they have infrastructure-wise in Niagara. It just makes sense for me that Niagara's number 1. Not saying that Vancouver can't beat them, but it's just in terms of what they have going into the season that I trust more.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on who Vancouver brings back. Mitch Creek, Nick Ward, or these guys are going to come back. But yeah, that Niagara roster is
crazy,
loaded.
And look, they could get even more. Same thing with Vancouver. If they make a couple of additions, like you said, Mitch Creek, we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Packed and loaded power rankings. We've made our case. Let's hear from you.